go.
Live from a garbage fire near the Sepulveda freeway off the off-ramp of the non-existent road that I'm going to be talking about, deep, deep within the pits of the hell known as the San Fernando Valley, is Gonzo Hole, with your hosts, Devin Skirtboy and...
Steve, a macaroni fucker.
Wow. Wow.
Wow,
Jesus.
indeed.
Jesus Christ. I am so excited to be here. It's been a slow month.
Yeah,
Really
it's been about a
slow.
month since we last did our newscast.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we've had some delays.
Yep, but you know what? It's all fine now, and the stream seems to be doing well.
It's good. You can already see it?
Yep, I can already see it. It's up. I'm sending out the propaganda
Wow, I can
banners.
even see the thumbnail on my phone. This is great. We are certainly alive. So,
Yeah.
while you are shilling out for our article, our stream, I'll give a refresh to the audience about what happened on the last stream. So, what did we
Yes.
talk about? I remember there was something of Drake being a terrorist and he wanted to kill liberals or something.
Yeah. I remember that. It was a month ago, and he's still on the large.
Yes, I believe that we will have an article up soon about the situation. I'm working hard on it with our Gonzo team, performing Gonzo analysis, but it's very difficult. I don't already have the article written and on hand and ready to publish whenever I need to.
No, we don't. If anyone says otherwise, we'll just stab them right in their fucking face.
Yes.
Like journalists. We're journalists.
Yes, we're journalists. And
Gonzo journalist.
Also, what were the other stuff we covered? I actually forgot everything.
What did we actually cover? Well, we went over things such as we went over Sylvester Stallone's new movie, which is made by Turning Point USA. We covered the harrowing tale of losing 360p for Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes.
We got a Gonzo friend on the stream, Charizardus Rex. He said this could be the new Swarovski stream, a good place to argue.
Truth journalism equals Gonzo journalism. Of course, my friend. We have some interesting stories today.
Yes. So, yeah, I think we just covered everything important from that last shitty stream. I mean, the last perfect newscast.
Perfect newscast, nothing happened.
Alright. So, now we can introduce, our newest journalist. His name is Gregory Pipinski. He is, unfortunately, what was he doing again? I remember he was busy today.
Yeah, he was busy going back to Siberia to meet his Pinko communist family.
Yes.
In the Gulag, which they still have in Russia, in case you didn't know.
Yes, they certainly still do have it. I heard he was born there.
Yep, he was born there, raised there. Like, have you ever watched that thing about that North Korean guy who, like, was born and raised in, like, a death camp, then escaped? Well,
like
you know what?
He had a good life.
Yeah, he had a good life, but you know what? He's a complete ripoff of what happened to Gregory Pipinski.
Yeah, anyways, I'll address your question, Mr. Rex, after we read this. Gregory Pipinski. Pipinski was a former KGB operative serving in the late 1980s in various theaters. It was in Afghan where he had lost his eye ever since. Lipinski's notable works of literature are Dante's Inferno, which he co-wrote and edited. The Gulag Archipelago, which he ghost-wrote, and lastly, oh boy, it looks like we have some. I guess she was non-binary. I did not notice that. Her proofread Ayn Rand's hit novel JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. His hobbies include sewing. What were you saying?
It's my favorite objectionist novel, you know.
And weightlifting, reviewing anime, shooting guns, and hunting. He is currently living deep within the Montana countryside in North Korea, where he bareback wrestles wolves and partakes in psychoactive shrooms, so he can see visions of what articles to write next. Unfortunately, he has not had visions for some time, since he still has that one article.
Yeah, he's kind of, you know, not moving anymore. We found him in the basement recently in the Gulag in Siberia. We travel a lot, and he's not moving. He's just kind of lying there. So we'll get the paramedics on him.
Truth makes me giggle like Steve too. Well,
As for ethics in gaming journalism, that's the most important thing.
yes, it's the most important. And speaking of lacking ethics, I accidentally had the wrong title card. I had the one for the last article we'll be reading instead of the newest Gonzo journalist, but
Oh.
yeah. Anyways, move on to the Souls game that never was.
Speaking of games journalism.
Yes, this will address most of our concerns about gaming journalism. The Souls game that never was. This is an article by me. During E3 2018, to everyone's surprise, the big game developer From Software made no announcements for any new games, particularly ones belonging to the Souls series, a series that inspired many substandard analogies by gamers and others across the world. To this news, many were shocked that From Software stopped making games, and that their god, Hide
Hidetaka.
Japanese man Miyazaki could betray them by not making the rumored Racing Souls game, Bloodborne cards, or a continuation of the Souls series that takes place during the 1980s, a few years after the end of Dark Souls 3. However, we got nothing. From Software did not even come to E3, as they had absolutely no games to show off since the company shifted their focus to selling cooking products. From the looks of it, Dark Souls is dead, and no one can save it. There is one way that Dark Souls could have been saved, though that time has passed. In a time where Dark Souls was still mysterious and edgy, the heroic Miyazaki had an idea for a Souls game that would have prolonged the franchise for several decades. A game that could keep Dark Souls alive. The Souls game that never was. Irritating stick. This game was completely original and had no influences from the previous title. Some elements of the gameplay included the absence of an ending to make the game officially impossible to beat, like how Dark Souls is unbeatable according to most journalists, including some of the members of Gonzo Hole probably. To make the
Yep.
game even more difficult, you could only use one weapon, a broken stick. This stick would show you that you, the player, are broken, but there is a sense of salvation if one were to make it to the end. But there is no end, so there is no salvation. When you
How
reach a
meta.
certain point in the game, which approximately takes 300 hours on a first playthrough, the game begins an algorithm where it builds levels of increasing difficulty that have no connection to the rest of the game and do not resolve any plot threads. Eventually, players would reach a point where bosses would have health pools so large, the game's engine could not calculate it, so it gave them essentially infinite health. The game would certainly have been a masterpiece, saving the Souls franchise for decades to come. But alas, Yui Tanemura destroyed everything as usual. When the game was 95% completed, Yui destroyed all the hard drives and other data the game was contained on, even fragments of Miyazaki's memories to make sure the monster was defeated, a monster that would prevent the conception of Dark Souls 2, the worst video game of all time. You may be wondering why I have any knowledge of irritating stick, since all memories and traces of it were eliminated by Yui. Well, believe it or not, I was the only journalist who was allowed to even examine the development process of irritating stick. Miyazaki refused to have any trailers come out until the game was completed, so that in no way he would mislead his fan base, knowing that the evil mastermind Yui could betray him at any moment. He assigned me to monitor the development of the game in case anything were to happen to it. Despite this, I was not present during Yui's reign of terror and only have a portion of my notes. Thankfully, to this day, I have kept my identity secret from Yui and can still pass on the legend of Irritating Stick to future generations. Fortunately, Irritating Stick will likely never come around. Will likely never come around in our modern game climate, as Dark Souls is dead. Nothing that is dead can be revived, for death is absolute, and death is Yui. Soon, death may visit me. If I don't post any articles for a week, donate to my Patreon.
Ah, wow. Donate to free ethical journalism.
Mm-hmm.
This was harrowing. Once again, Yui ruins everything. Like he ruined Dark Souls, he ruined Japan, and he ruined journalism.
If the audience has any questions, they can ask right now. But anyways, Mr. Skirt Boy, how do you feel, if Yui was never born, how do you think that would change the modern climate in this world of ours?
I don't think it would just change the climate, like in game wise, but I think it would change the actual climate in terms of weather.
Hmm.
Um, because as Al Gore said, when he became president, that Yui is actually Satan, and we need to stop him. We need
Hmm.
to we need to burn down Tokyo in order to
Yes.
stop the threat.
Yes,
But
Huey is very dangerous.
then Yui won the election.
Yep. He won the
Yep,
election. Now he's
that's
the
how we got Bush.
CEO of Dark Souls. Mm.
CEO of Dark Souls.
Oh,
Wow, that's amazing.
very
Tragic.
shocking. Tragedy indeed.
Wow. But you know
Is
what is a big tragedy?
yes.
Joe's mother.
Oh yes, this is a special article. It is about one of our studio audience members as well.
Mm-hmm.
I will read it for the absent Gregory Popinski.
Yes.
Very hard-hitting journalism that is all legitimate.
All
Um,
legitimate. All sources are not shown, of course.
yes, it's for transparency. Anyways, why Joe's mother is a big fat gay? This article is written by Gregory Popinski. Very simply, Joe is the biggest, fattest gay boy in the galaxy. Nay, the universe. The question remains, how could an individual be so goddamn gay? Well, first things first, I want to clear it up. I'm not a homophobe. I love the gays, well, not sexually, and I think that Pride Month is amazing. After all, I can obviously see who's going to hell. The goddamn sodomites deserve to burn, but that's irrelevant to the topic at hand. You see, the reason Joe's a big gay is because of a few factors. One, um, his mother, who before him was the biggest gay in the multiverse, who through birthing Joe imparted all of her gay powers to Joe. After all, it is scientific fact that women impart their vital nutrients to their babies. In Joe's mother case, however, she imparted her homosexual tendencies onto Joe. In short, Joe is gay because his mother is gay. In order to prove my point, I not only spoke to Joe, but his mother in order to get their opinions on the matter. As any good journalist would do, mind you. The screenshots below should give important context and proof to back up my claims. Can you please read the quotes?
By Joe, I love big black wee wees in my mouth. From Udall.
Yes, you doodle. Oh, Joe, you weren't, Mr. Rex, you weren't present for the, first article, were you? It was about the Souls game. I apologize for this.
Well, Mr. Rex, this is just hard-hitting journalism, okay?
Yes.
You don't have to like it.
Yes, not everyone can like the truth. No one can
The
deny it.
the truth will set you free.
As you could clearly see, Joe blatantly admits to loving massive, pardon my language, cocks while being a man. This clearly means that Joe is gay. And as stated before, Joe's gayness derives from his mother, whose homosexuality will be explained below. I don't know why that's a question, but please read.
Miss Joe's mother, care to comment on your homosexuality? I love women and their fat, thick, delectable, excuse the language, pussy.
Pussy. Gonzunism. Yes, that does summarize the ideological beliefs of Gonzo, but I think you missed the paleo, capitalist, syndicalist, Gonzunism part of it. So, anyways. As shown above, Joe's mother admits to being gay, thus proving my point. That homosexuality was born into Joe. In conclusion, Joe's mother was the biggest gay until Joe was born. In conclusion, Joe's mother was... Oh, I just read that. This is Gregory Popinski reporting for Gonzo Hole. Catch more top trending news stories here on the Gonzo Hole website. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and most importantly, donate to our Patreon. Keep real journalism free and independent. Okay.
Wow.
Very interesting.
What a Chad.
Our audience can ask any questions they would like to ask right now, and you can ask me one first, and I'll ask you a question.
Okay. So, why is homosexuality?
Homosexual?
No, just why is homosexuality?
Um, well, let's see. When every human is born, they decide their sexuality when they are born, so they choose whether or not they're gay or not. That
Wow.
is how it works.
That's how it works, and it's a sin if you make one wrong choice, and you're damned to hell forever.
Let me look at two audience questions. I'm sorry, we don't actually have a Patreon link. We're still trying to get money to raise that up.
He was still he was tripping on shrooms when he came up.
And about the effects in games journalism, homosexual. Anyways, I want to ask you, what do you think happens to the homosexual race when they die?
Well, like everything, they start over,
Yes,
and they
very
continue to
interesting.
live in forever.
Okay, so
Just an
can Joe
eternal
ask
loop.
gaming questions? That's actually his
You can
question.
ask, you can ask gaming questions, but only with a lisp.
Yes, and that just because you asked the question doesn't mean we'll answer it.
Yeah,
Anyways, let's head into one of our most hard-hitting articles.
and not dated whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
It's an American hero and logical sane centrist denounces the evil left. And we got this nice infographic here by
Yes.
Ben Garrison himself.
Yeah,
So
Ben
let's
10
begin.
Garrison. Look close.
Ben 10 Garrison.
Yeah, look. See,
Oh, oh
you never
wow.
noticed that?
No. Wow. Famous YouTuber and resident fat fuck Boogie2988 recently decided to tackle the big questions after taking on Satan herself, Anita Sarkeesian, and her many gay henchmen. In an interview with a necklace lawn gnome, Stephen J. Williams, aka Boogie2988, decided that for once he didn't want to e-beg like the loser he is, and instead give his much sought after political opinion to to a viewing audience of around 5 people max. It was there that Wokey2988 decided to lay out some major fucking truth bombs in order to destroy the evil left. Like I've always believed, like, hey, we should have same-sex marriage. I love same-sex marriage. Let's do it. But the problem is we're trying to get it done right now, and there's going to be a huge backlash. Williams said.
Oh, can I read the next quote?
Yeah, sure. If one were to tweak that sentence just a bit, you would come to realize how fucking weak that line of thinking actually is.
Like, I've always believed, like, hey, we should have equal rights for blacks. I love equal rights for blacks. Let's do it. But the problem is, we're trying to get it done right now, and there's gonna be a huge backlash.
Williams said, circa 1963, but ignoring Williams' blatant disregard for basic civil rights for his fellow man, Boogie 1488 decided that that enough was enough, and that he was going to expose the truth for what it was, that being the fact that Anita Sarkeesian, aka the Armenian she-devil, killed her own people at Charlottesville, as if pointing out sexist tropes in video games wasn't enough for that cold-hearted bitch. Agreeing to disagree. Oh wait, this is your quote.
Oh, yeah. Agreeing to disagree, kindly and sweetly, and then battling at the courts, battling in the polls?
William said.
That's fine. That's how we are supposed to do it. Not in the fucking streets. The way you are doing it. People are getting fucking killed at Charlottesville. What are you fucking doing?
Blaming a video game critic for the death of a poster to own the libs. What a guy. In all my years of being a fake journalist, I have never seen such logical sane centrism before. And for those of you wondering how much of a centrist William actually is, this tweet by Lucy D. Iyer, a well-respected scientist in the study of stupidicus centristology, explains it all.
As you can see there, Bookie is right in the center.
The center of the center of the center.
Of the center.
Yeah. Later that same day, though, Boogie2988 was unfortunately killed by Sudanese assassin for disrespecting the evil monarch, Antifa Sarkeesian. He was forced to say the Steam's new quality control policy was fucking terrible on stream, which caused Boogie's centrist heart to implode, killing him instantly. He will be buried next to the Mountain Dew factory, as he specified in his last will and testament. R.I.P. centrist hero, 1776. 1986 to 1984.
Alright, so we've already got a few things in the stream comments. Joe asked, how do you feel about... Oh, damn it. How do you feel about galactic Japanese role-playing games?
Evil,
Okay, you said some stuff about saving the Western world.
as we all
Anyways,
do.
first thing I want to mention is, I feel like the ending of this article is similar to another article we did.
Mm-hmm.
Very strange trend.
Yes, there's something about a certain country that keeps on popping up in some of our news articles. It's weird.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm. Trends.
So, I'd like to ask a question about this great article you wrote.
Yes, about
Um,
the centrist hero who died for our sins.
yes. What is your favorite Boogie 1488 moment?
Um, when he actually like killed Anita Sarkeesian by beheading her and her many heads. But she came back, of course, because Satan does that.
Yes. You can never kill the she-devil.
The Armenian she-devil.
Yes.
Well, I have a question for you. Is a race realist. How do you feel about Anita Sarkeesian being the worst human being ever?
Oh, she's
I'm
so...
not leading you on with this question
Oh yeah,
at
no,
all.
no, I get it. Of course, that's an objective truth. Whether or not it's the truth is not the question. So with Anita, she very bad. Yes.
She very bad. She bad woman. Bad.
She's terrible.
Send back.
Yes.
Um.
Uh, friend Mr. Rex said beautiful username, beautiful man, remembered fondly. Yes. Our friend Boogie and his dreams for the white race will always be remembered. Anyways, oh my god. We're having technical difficulties again.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Wow.
This
Wow.
means there must be breaking news. Oh my god.
Breaking. Oh Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Same.
god.
Oh, what is this?
I
What?
don't even have a overlay ready yet. That's how breaking
Wow.
this is. Breaking news, shocking truth revealed about Papa John's resignation. Jesus fuck.
Oh, wow. Wow.
What has
This
happened?
is breaking the news.
Yes. Oh my god. This article, it says it's by me. I didn't just write it right now. This is just breaking news.
Yeah.
So, breaking news. Papa John was forced to resign from his position at Papa John's, not because he said a racial slur, but because he's a gamer.
Damn.
The journalists at Gonzo Hole will be sure to provide more about this breaking piece of news. But as of now, we have discovered that Papa John had received backlash for his totally justified use of the N-word in a conference call, not because he might be racist, a claim heavily disputed by the logical, sane, intellectual dark middle, but because his words prove he is a gamer. The truth is, there is something very important about this phone call. Something no one is talking about. Something that not even Papa John can reveal. Prior to the use of the N-word, he said,
You think you're oppressed? Try being a gamer. Us gamers are constantly under attack by the right and left wing, constantly getting friend-zoned and attacked, all for enjoying a hobby that actually improves your critical thinking and problem solving. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, America.
following this, most of the events went as the media had initially reported them. Even so, this blatant omission of an important piece of the puzzle reveals the truth about the media's crusade against one of modern America's most important civil rights leaders, Papa John. The truth being, no matter how benevolent you are, no matter how much people love your pizza, if you are a gamer, all you'll be getting is the guillotine. This message was brought to you by Papa John's. Better slurs, better pizza, Papa John.
Wow. Fucking gamers, am I right? The most depressed people on earth.
Okay, so So, what do you think? What do you think this news spells out for the future of, well, the world?
Everything. Um, I believe that this is going to change the face of gamer civil rights.
Mm.
Um, and we're going to need a gamer revolution.
One of the most little, like, least known facts about America is that in the Constitution and bylaws, there is only one group that does not have equal rights under the laws, and most
Mm,
people won't be able to answer this correctly. What do you think the answer is?
I don't know.
It's
Is it
gamers.
Italian? Oh wow.
They're
Wow.
they do
Awful.
not have the right to freedom of speech. They do not have Second Amendment rights. They don't have the right to remain silent. They cannot plead the
Wow.
fifth. They they don't even have the
Or the
right to
sixth,
vote.
or the seventh, or the eighth.
Or even the 30th.
Jesus.
Yep. They don't even have access to that. And also, in the I believe it was the 28th Amendment of the US Constitution, it is stated that the Bill of Rights does not apply to gamers.
It's written there, right by Andrew Garfield himself.
Mhm.
Um, and
Yes.
did you know that like gamers are like when cops find them, they're not read their Miranda rights. They're actually shot on sight.
And then the cops read the Miranda rights after they die.
Yeah, so they can say that they said it,
Mm. Yep.
but it doesn't matter because they don't have rights.
Yeah. In fact, unarmed shooting against gamers is at all-time high. It said that about what was the number? Do you remember it? Like how many it was per day?
4 billion,
Yeah, I forgot. Thanks for
4 billion
reminding us.
gamers.
It's a bit unfortunate. I believe we have 2 billion gorillion at bodies at this moment. I have lost count myself, unfortunately.
Yeah, I go to the morgue often.
Mm,
Not for that reason, but you know,
yes. I assume you would just know for other reasons.
yeah, useful journalistic other reasons that you don't need to know about, nor does the law. But you know what else is a shambling dead corpse?
What?
Butch Hartman.
Yes, I don't disagree with that.
That's the segue of the year. I'm waiting for my Pulitzer.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hopefully it'll come in the mail soon.
oh wow. So Butch Hartman, the rise, fall, and decomposition of an animator. It's been a really slow news month, folk. So far, the only thing that has happened that's newsworthy, or at least Gonzo newsworthy, was a bunch of 40-year-old basement dwellers, aka the last defenders of the Western world, complaining about She-Ra, a show that no one has given a fuck about, an unironic fuck about, ever since ever, really. And based Elon Musk calling a dude a pedo for saving a bunch of Thai kids in a cave. But like the good and respectable journalists we are, we totally fucked ourselves and missed the opportunity to report on those two things while they were still relevant. Cool. But then came old Butch Hartman to save the day and us from foreclosure.
Yes, we would actually not exist anymore if not for this.
Yeah, I was planning on killing myself if it weren't
Mm.
for Butch Hartman. For those of you who don't know, Butch Hartman is the man who saturated your miserable life with unfunny shit since forever. The man has been working on stuff since 1985, ranging from acting in live-action TV dramas like Days of Our Lives, being being an in-between artist for An American Tale, and helping us usher forth the worst Tom and Jerry adaptation of all time. Fuck you, Butch. But where Butchie Boy got his real break was when he turned his short cartoon, The Fairly Odd Parents, into a full series on Nickelodeon back in 2001. Between then and early 2018, Butch has helmed multiple different cartoons on the channel, nearly all of which got canceled except for The Fairly Odd Parents, whose fate lies in a sort of limbo as writing this article. On February 8th, 2018, Butch published a YouTube video where he stated that Nickelodeon was horrified by a surprise announcement. Butch said he was done working for the anti-gospel propagandist at Nickelodeon, who would soon cater to Dan Schneider's and his foot fetish rather than Butch's holy demands. In the announcement, he also said that he was sick of working on the Fairly Odd Parents at gunpoint, like the many Korean animators he will soon hire for his next few shows. This is Butch breaking the hard news, and it might just be too hard for even him to handle. Between February and mid-June, Butch kept himself occupied by using his YouTube channels, the first being the egotistically named Butch Hartman channel and his podcast channel known as Speech Bubble. Speech Bubble might not be as well known as his main channel, but it's brought about some of the best of Butch, like that time he joked about Hair Strong being responsible for voice actress Mary Kay Bergman's suicide. If you want to read that tweet, Steve.
Butch playfully told Tara Strong, his guest star on the podcast and the lead VA for Timmy Turner for 17 years, exclamations, that she is the reason Mary Kay Bergman, VA for the early South Park females and pilot Timmy Turner, committed suicide. And there's a Butch in the speech bubble, humble.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's a fucking comedy gold, Butch. On June 18th, Butch launched a Kickstarter campaign for a streaming service called Oaxis that mainly focused on providing family-friendly content. The idea was fucking stupid. Folks all across the globe simultaneously released a disappointed sigh and proceeded to go on their favorite social media platforms to rightfully tell everyone else how stupid the idea was. One of the more vocal people that harped on Butch's money-fueled tire fire of a Kickstarter was a YouTuber by the name of Pie Guy Rules, who has since uploaded 5 videos on the topic.
He uploaded another one today.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw that one. The 4 most recent of which came out in the span of 2 days. The last video that Pie Guy uploaded was titled Butch Hartman Lied About His Christian Streaming Service Scam with Proof. And it did very much contain the aforementioned proof of Butch Hartman revealing the true nature of his streaming platform, which he withheld till after the Kickstarter was successfully funded. The most condemning evidence came in the form of a conference held by Butch Hartman himself. The Cliff Notes version can be found here. Like some sort of crossover between Steven Anderson and Dr. Evil, Butch monologues in front of the audience of fellow Christian fuckwits with loads of money about the good old days when the show promoted family values. This, of course, was before the evil cable networks, or should I say the evil Kabbalah networks, put chemicals in the water to turn your friggin' kids gay, and then promptly made them commit suicide, of course. Butch then proceeds to call himself humble, all the while saying he is uniquely qualified to bring about this family-friendly reformation that will shift the narrative in Hollywood. Not only that, but it will change culture and save families. But don't worry, guys, this is not about me. This is about him, sweet baby Jesus.
I checked out the link that leads to family values. Very interesting. Anti-LGBT rhetoric.
Yeah, family values. See, to most people, this would seem out of left field for good old humble Butch, but not for us. In fact, considering the types of people that Butch is following on Twitter, it's hard to believe that an openly Christian conservative like Butch didn't pull something like this sooner. And here are all the people that he's following on Twitter. Nice, respectable people like Joel Osteen, who, while during a flood in Texas, kept his church's door shut, despite people being there. Yeah.
It was to protect God.
It was to protect God from the flood, which he made. To an outsider, Butch is very much a businessman with some conservative Christian leanings, but a businessman nonetheless. Our Butch is much less than a businessman. He's a con man who withholds vital information from his backers, on top of employing false advertisements so they can use their money to fund his little Christian-oriented snake oil ruse. It's underhanded, it's dirty, and downright dishonest. But what do you expect from the ultimate moral compass that is humble Butch?
Here he's saying, as the ultimate moral compass, I am here to study how to create the ultimate society. This is a real picture of him.
This real pictures of real Butch.
Yes.
Well,
that was very interesting. So would you say that Butch should now be able to join Gonzo Hole?
Yes, he has become a Gonzo Hole patron and has done nothing wrong, actually.
Yes. Maybe possible he's a gamer as well. In fact, Actually, you didn't bring
Hmm.
this up in the article, but this might actually be a conspiracy. You know how Butch was streaming some games on Twitch recently?
Yeah, yeah, he did Halo, ODST, and shit like that.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
Butch might actually be innocent. This could be because of this could be linked with a breaking news article.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
maybe
Are
Butch
you
didn't
saying
do anything.
that Butch, the humble Butch himself, might not be a scumbag, but in fact a gamer?
Yes. If he gets the
Wow.
guillotine in a week, we know the answer to that question. Anyways,
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
um, while you were writing this article, which parts of Butch's character stuck out to you the most?
The part where he joked about people's suicide and conned them out of money. You
Mm.
know. And not only is it just not just like a random person that he's joking about, he's joking about someone that worked with him for like a few years.
Yes, and in front of the person that worked for him for 17 years and also is the person that he's blaming.
Mm-hmm. Because it's funny jokes. Funny, haha. Um.
Unfortunately, we haven't gotten any audience comments for quite some time.
Oh wow, that's great. they
Oh,
they
okay.
promptly committed suicide after watching Butch Hartman shows.
Yeah.
I've never expected so much from a man who wants to keep families together by stopping streaming services that keep children away from their parents by creating a streaming service to keep children away from their parents. But it's family values, you know.
Yes. Yes. Very family values.
Hmm.
Anyways, anything else, or do you think it's? Oh, why
I
is
think
this
it's
called the
about
Gonzo Show #1? That was a little typo.
that's a little fucking typo. I'm here. I'm just listening and texting. Texting is gay.
Hmm.
You're
Most.
the you're the reason why Butch saved the Western. Bookie 2988 did not die for you.
Where? Ah.
Yeah, Joe saying that.
Oh, okay. Very interesting. So, does Mr. Rex have anything else to comment on about the wonderful Butch and his nothing wrongs?
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Yo,
saying something. After this audience,
Joe,
is
is
Boogie
Boogie
actually dead?
actually?
His body is, I believe it was like in a weird limbo state.
Yeah, he's still posting videos even though he actually is dead,
Yeah,
which
his
is
body's just moving on his own.
yeah, it's like a zombie that posts very centrist in quotation marks
Yes.
videos.
I believe on
Um,
Twitter his automated bot posted something that said, "I'm not sure how to feel about this, but I feel a lot." That is an actual real quote, not a Gonzo quote. I wish I was joking.
yeah, that's
Or actually not joking, that's what he said.
he also said something else. He was like comparing. Fuck, he said something. He was like
Was
comparing.
I
Do you
remember it
know
was
what I'm
stupid.
talking?
I know what you're talking about. I saw it. I just don't remember. It was amazing though.
Fuck.
Well, we'll never remember. We could just write
Yep.
about an article about it next time. I believe Boogie's a
Yeah.
great source of journalism.
Great source of journalism, just like Butch.
Hmm.
Sudanese.
Anyways,
Anyways,
I think it's time
well,
to end the stream.
that's the end of the stream, folks. Good
And
night. Good
good
luck.
night. And have a
And
very gonzo day.
don't forget to eat Papa John's.
Better ingredients, better
Better
slurs, better
pizza.
pizza. Papa John's.